there's a lot of anti-Hindu rhetoric in these universities. We've already seen that with Audrey Truschke in Rutgers. We've seen that with that idiot Abhijit Sarkar in Oxford, who blames the famine of 1944 on the Hindu Mahasabha instead of the bloody British. And he gets funded by the British taxpayers, by the way, as well, to write all this nonsense. And then there's another one that I've come across recently. And this is a guy that teaches at the Harvard School of Economics. Yale. At Yale Economics. He tweeted essentially, so let me give you a background. So the background of what happened was hundreds of Islamists in Bangladesh. So you know that Modi visited Bangladesh recently on the 50th independence anniversary of Bangladesh, met Sheikh Hasina, attended a couple of Independence Day programs in Bangladesh, also visited a Kali Mandir in Bangladesh, a very ancient Shakti Peeth. It is considered one of the Shakti Peeths in Bangladesh of Hinduism. So he visited that Kali Mandir. And as a result of that, because a kuffar visited a Hindu mandir in Bangladesh, hundreds of Islamists got on the streets and they attacked Hindu temples, they destroyed public property, they burnt a train in Bangladesh, and they were basically protesting, कि bhai, how dare Narendra Modi come to Darul Islam, Bangladesh. It's just funny. It's just funny even thinking about it. How these people, how this guy comes and visits a Hindu temple. So for people that might not know, Sheikh Hasina, she has been trying to push back against these Islamist groups. She has been trying, at least on her part, in whatever small measure that she can, to try and secularize Bangladesh. How successful she has been is up for debate. You can make up your own mind about how successful she has been. But she has sidelined a lot of these Islamist organizations, and they're pushing back against her in a very strong way. And you can imagine that in countries like Pakistan and Bangladesh, where, let's say, kind of, the education level is not the highest. It's like Pakistan and Bangladesh, these groups, these Islamist groups where education levels are low, where levels of religiosity are very high. इनको पास power है यार कि they can whip people up in a very strong anti-Hindu frenzy by using anti-Hindu statements, and they can cause violence, and that's exactly what happened in Bangladesh. Now, think about this for a second. Radicals get triggered simply because a Hindu political leader had the audacity to come to Bangladesh, Darul Islam, and go to a Hindu temple. That's why they get triggered and they cause violence. Guess who a liberal Yale economics professor blames? I'm going to share it, and we can read it out together. This guy's name is Ahmad Mushfiq Mubarak. He is a professor of economics at Yale University, specializes in development economics. And he said, Bangladesh appears to have walked into a clever trap by Modi. He visits a temple of importance to some West Bengalis voting in a closely contested TMC BJP state election. His visit spreads communal violence in Bangladesh. Modi ko Illuminati bana ke rakh diya hai. Modi manages to communalize politics and society on both sides of Bangladesh. So Bangladesh mein bhi Bangladesh mein jo Islamist dange kar rahe hain, that's also Modi's fault. Wow. West Bengal border with one visit. Why are we behaving like clueless pawns in this destructive game of divisive politics between Hindus and Muslims? हाँ भैया, हाँ 1971 में भी तो मोदी की गलती थी ना, है 1964 में जो राइट्स हुए थे वो भी मोदी की गलती थी, 1950 में जो राइट्स हुए थे वो भी मोदी की गलती थी, सब तो मोदी की गलती है. Good to see people engaging today, complaining about violence against Hindus in Bangladesh. It would never be better to see Muslims joining that chorus in defense of minorities, and to see Hindus complaining equally vehemently about treatment of minorities in India. Yeah, people speak up about minority, the state of minorities in India, but the state of minorities in India and the state of minorities in Pakistan and Bangladesh is nowhere near the same thing. Bhaiya. Minorities in India are doing much, much better than minorities in Bangladesh and minorities in Pakistan specifically. Much, much, much better. Minorities in India, their incomes are increasing, their population growth is increasing, they're doing much better. But what is happening to the minorities in Bangladesh? There's a Bangladeshi professor from Dhaka who had said a year or 2 years ago that if the current rate of exodus continues, of Hindus from Bangladesh continues, in 30 years there's going to be no Hindus left in Bangladesh. Pakistan mein to aise bhi there mushkil se 1 or 2%. Mushkil se. And even their lives, you can see how bad it is. Every other week, every other day, some Hindu girl gets kidnapped and converted forcibly to Islam and gets married to someone. Every other week, every other month, there's some kind of attack on a Hindu temple. It's these low level violent incidents and intimidation incidents that happen against Hindus pretty much on a regular basis in Pakistan and Bangladesh, which is basically just a signal to the minority Hindus in Bangladesh कि औकात में रहो, औकात से बाहर निकलने की कोशिश मत करो. These attacks, these kidnappings, these attacks on their temples, this kind of violence, this kind of rhetoric, it is basically a way to tell Hindus कि औकात में रहो, to tell Hindus to not try to express themselves, to tell Hindus that don't think that you're equal citizens of this country. You are a second class citizen and you will always remain a second class citizen. That is the indication that they're trying to give through this kind of violence. And you're telling me that the situation of minorities in India is the same as Bangladesh and Pakistan. Abbe, please, hai? Logon ko चू banana band kar bhai. This is the level. This guy's a professor. Imagine this guy is a professor. How is it only that Tulsi Gabbard is talking about this? Because bhaiya, Tulsi Gabbard is the only politician with balls in the United States. And secondly, Tulsi Gabbard is the only politician that cares. Because Tulsi Gabbard doesn't really care whether or not woke people are going to be angry at her, whether or not progressive people are going to be angry, whether or not Muslims are going to be angry and other South Asian groups are going to be angry at her. She doesn't care. She cares about Hindus and she's going to speak up for the Hindus. That's why I like her. That's why I say that she's got balls, much bigger balls than many other politicians. This is a professor. Coming back to this fellow, what's his name? Ahmad Mushfiq Mubarak. This is a professor at a very liberal college who is doing something that apparently liberals hate, right? What is he doing? If you think about it, this is another form of victim blaming, is it not? कि भाई दंगा हुआ इंडियंस के साथ, लात पड़ी इंडियंस को, हिंदुओं के साथ, I mean, लात पड़ी हिंदुओं को, and then you're blaming Hindus themselves. You're blaming a Hindu leader for a massacre that happens against Hindus, for intimidation tactics that happen against Hindus, for violence that happens against Hindus. Imagine, just I'll give you an analogy. Imagine if there's a woman against whom some kind of an assault happens, and then you're talking to that woman and you're basically blaming the woman, right? कि भाई तुमने क्या कपड़े पहने हुए थे? You were leading that guy on. That's why you got attacked and assaulted. Imagine, will this professor ever say that to a woman? Of course not. Because if he ever says that to a woman, तो गई नौकरी इसकी, लात मार के बाहर निकालेंगे इसको कॉलेज से. लेकिन हिंदू है तो चलता है ना, हिंदुओं को गालियां देना चलता है. Wow, she got balls. Is she a dude? Might as well be, man. She got bigger balls than freaking most dude politicians that I know. That's what I can say. But yeah, by blaming the Hindus, you're basically essentially saying that the Hindus were asking for it. Hindus were asking to get murdered. Hindus were asking for their temples to get destroyed. Hindus were asking for the genocide to be committed against them in 1971. ये फालतू का नाटक है यार. But this is what we see, right? We see that Jews and now increasingly Hindus are the whipping boys of the progressive movement. It's open season against the Jews and the Hindus. The US universities, man, honestly, is so full of anti-Hindu hatred. The kind of anti-Semitic bullying that we used to see at the hands of progressive, at the hands of Arab students, we're now seeing the same thing happening against Hindu students as well. We're now seeing the same thing happen to Hindus at the hands of the faculty, at, Audrey Trushke, this guy, Abhijit Sarkar. This is anecdotal, but I've seen recently that people are now blaming Hindus for partition as well. Makes sense, bhai. सब उन्हीं की गलती है. 9/11 भी उन्हीं ने किया है. हिंदूज ने 9/11 किया है. हिंदूज ने आईसिस बनाया है. जो सुपरमैन की वो गंदी सी CGI वाली मूंछ थी, वो भी हिंदुओं ने ही बनाई है जस्टिस लीग मूवी में. मून लैंडिंग हिंदुओं ने फेक किया है. सब तो गलतियां उन्हीं की हैं. अल्लाह मजाक बना के रखा हुआ इन्होंने. And there's a large section of faculty, there's a large section of students in these Western universities who are openly, blatantly anti-Hindu, and they get a lot of institutional support. They've never had any kind of solid, sustained pushback against them. That's why they think they can say whatever they want. They can make up any stories that they want. They can make up any kind of, accusations that they want. And this has led to a relatively pervasive culture, especially in the arts. This problem doesn't exist so much in the sciences, because the sciences, at least they respect themselves a little bit. But in the arts, this exists. This culture of intimidation, bullying of Hindu students, that try to take any kind of pride in their culture.